Sam Sulek is back on the diet train. And I kid you not, he went from shoveling in as much food as humanly possible.
Let's see Andrew Eubanks hit this weight.
To now he's essentially starving himself.
I've hit a new low.
And so in case you think I'm making this up, I have a screenshot of his diet. Let us start with meal 1. Flat diet soda. And so I'm thinking, this is a joke, this can't be true, but let's watch the video.
I've hit a new low. Frankly, I can't remember the last time I was lighter than 240, which not yet, still 241.5.
Certainly Zach is thinking perfect new content to make a Coach Greg video.
He's gonna start an OnlyFans.
I'm gonna impersonate him impersonating Coach Greg. Sam Sulek has a new diet, 2 liters of diet pop. And so is that good? No!
Thank you, Greg.
But meal number 1, not exactly a meal at all. 2 liter of flat diet soda.
A 2 liter of flat diet soda. That's how he would copy me. But this is how I actually say it. And so he's drinking 2 liters of flat diet soda. You see the difference? It's not 2 liters of flat diet soda. He exaggerates that portion a little bit too much.
I think it would be way crazier for somebody to drink even 2 cans of a regular full sugar soda than it would be to drink a full 2 liter of a diet soda.
You think he doesn't have wisdom. Sam, he knows exactly what he's talking about. And so the comment section is saying,
why are you shitting on Sam Sulek?
I'm not shitting on him. I don't have a fetish for defecation. What? And so he says,
does it not make more sense to drink 2 liters of diet pop than to have 2 cans of regular soda?
Absolutely. In 2 cans of regular pop, there's about 300 calories, the majority of which, in fact, all coming from sugar. In comparison, diet soda, it's just a bunch of water with sweetener. Now, many people are going to say when you're on a cut, you have to cut out all the sweeteners. I am not one of them, but I certainly think this diet is better than, for example, Mike Israetel, who was drinking Gatorade and having cereal while prepping for a competition. But remember, he never lost because of his conditioning, he lost because of his tan.
The actual effect on your blood sugar, your insulin release, and like your glycemic index and everything else, basically negligible with the diet soda. There is a little bit of like a kind of psychological reaction because your brain knows that you're drinking something sweet, so it kind of has a little bit of an indirect pathway.
And so my impression of the psychological reaction is, you get the sweetness of the diet pop, the junk food that you're craving, without all the calories. And so to me, it's a win-win. And so although I'm not a fan of waking up in the morning and drinking 2 liters of diet pop, I do think it's better than drinking regular pop.
But for me, this makes it a bit easier. Plus, it kind of quenches my fucking sweet tooth.
Obviously, I would think it's infinitely better to, for example, consume 2 liters of Perry Light for breakfast, where you have essential amino acids, protein, electrolytes, and so on for hydration. And so clearly, this is superior to drinking diet pop. But if Sam Sulek wants to drink diet pop instead of Perry Light, well, by all means, be my guest.
I could tell these last couple of days I'd really been kind of sort of fiending for treats. So now the cupboard is full of like, oh man.
If you skip meal 1 and have no protein whatsoever, you're missing your first opportunity for muscle protein synthesis to occur. When you fast to this extent, you don't eat, for example, for 16 hours, there's potential for muscle loss to occur. Your muscles don't have the amino acids, the building blocks to build muscle, and so they can actually take them, use them from, for example, your biceps, like Mike Israetel, and use it to repair your heart. And so if you want biceps that look like Mike Israetel, rather than having great looking arms, then obviously you can skip meal 1. You don't need to eat breakfast, but if you're looking to maximize muscle hypertrophy, you don't want to skip out on having protein when you wake up.
Right. Now, in terms of how easy it is for me to stick to these kind of limitations, that's where I like waiting until, maybe even noon, sometimes even 1 for that first meal, just because, now instead of having to spread like 2,400 calories throughout the entire day, right, like 8 o'clock all the way till probably midnight. That's what? It's like 16 full hours.
And so Sam Sulek, he wakes up, he does fasted cardio, and he states, look, I'm not doing this because it burns more fat. It's just the way I like to do it. And by that, he is correct. He's saying if I do fasted cardio and I narrow down my eating window, I can consume more calories in less period of time, and I prefer it that way. Because listen, in the end, it is, of course, calories in, calories out. And although I'm not a fan of dieting in the way that Sam is doing, it is actually going to work if you can stick to it.
Somebody might hear that and they think, okay, well, if I wait until noon, then I won't be able, it'll be easier to eat less. Oh, maybe I should just keep waiting. Maybe I shouldn't eat till 5 o'clock. Maybe I shouldn't eat till 6. Maybe I should just do like a full day fast, and it can be a bit of a downward spiral. So there is a certain balance between, because you're limiting your food intake.
And in my opinion, that balance is usually getting up and eating breakfast. Now for me, remember, everyone else is different. If I skip out on meal 1, I have less energy. I can't perform at the same effort. And in other words, I'm playing catch up for the rest of the day. If I save meal 1 for 1 o'clock like Sam Sulek, and I have to go to the gym, I'm not going to feel the same kind of power, and I don't want it to negatively affect my training. And so I get my meal 1 at, for example, 8 o'clock, meal 2 at noon. That way, when I go to the gym in the afternoon, I have the muscle glycogen needed to support and fuel my training.
30 minutes of cardio done. I didn't get to do the seated bike. Had to do the more regular one where you're kind of sitting upright. Felt super weird, but totally fine.
And so Sam Sulek, he's taking Coach Greg's advice. Rather than doing the recumbent bike where you're burning fewer calories, he's sitting upright. When you sit upright on the bike, you're going to in fact put out more watts. It's more of a normal bike riding position. You can engage more of the glutes, and you're going to in fact burn more calories and more fat. Great job, Sam Sulek. Now he says it feels weird. Yeah, trust me, too much pressure on the perineum, it can cause problems perhaps with your prostate and so on. And so if you do in fact bike as often as Coach Greg, for example, I've done 6 hours in the last 4 days, it is a lot of riding, especially when you're racing faster than last time.
Especially after 330 or so calories being burnt in about 30 and a half minutes. Sometimes I got to go over that 30-minute mark.
I just calculated that Sam Sulek's fitness level, he's riding at 183 watts, about 1.65 watts per kilo. And in terms of his bike riding ability, remember, he's riding every single day. He's been doing so for years. He would be considered very unfit. However, I do think he's riding at a very low intensity. I don't think he's pushing himself. And so this is perhaps zone 1. Now, I would recommend he perhaps increases the pace a little bit, gets into zone 2. This would have a host of benefits for him cardiovascular-wise to increase his life expectancy, allow him to burn more calories, and increase his fitness. In comparison, when I'm riding slow, I'm perhaps burning about 100 calories more than him in the same length of time. And remember, I weigh a lot less than him, but I ride at zone 2. And so if I was to coach Sam Sulek, I would say just ride a little bit harder. Progressive overload, those 330 calories, let's move it up to 340. Perhaps in a month from now, 350. The more he gets in shape, the more calories he'll be able to burn. And perhaps sooner or later, he'll burn off 500 calories in 30 minutes. He could either then eat more food, decrease the time he's riding, whatever.
So that's what I'm aiming for. I want this ratio to be balanced of not eating too many calories per meal, but being full.
And so in meal 2, he's having tuna fish, light mayo, and rice. He says this is very filling. For 550 calories, it makes him full. I find that very hard to believe. If I haven't eaten, for example, for 12 or 16 hours, I've skipped meal 1, by the time I'm eating at 12 or 1 o'clock, I would want to eat 3 times more than this. And so if you're having a hard time feeling full, satiated, satisfied, what you need to do is add in low-calorie dense foods. And so what are those? They're foods that have a lot of volume, but they're very low in calories. For example, vegetables, fruits. If you add in more fruits and vegetables, they often have a lot of water. It's going to help with hydration. You won't have to drink as much pop. And on top of that, they do in fact add fiber, antioxidants. It's very healthy. Do yourself a favor. If you are in fact copying his diet, add in some vegetables, some fruit, perhaps add in a carrot, an apple, a banana. It's going to make it way healthier. And it goes without saying, I don't even need to mention at this point, obviously you would have my cookbook, you would eat some recipes from here. They're low-calorie, delicious meals for big eaters like Sam Sulek, guys that like to go on bulks. And so this is the foods you eat when you're on a cut. A lot more tasty than, for example, tuna, rice, and some barbecue sauce with no vegetables or fruit. Code Greg, 15% off.
So dieting wise, making these meals very plain. I mean, really just simple. You can't really beat that word.
And so yes, his diet is simple. I'll give him that. You don't need to be a chef to do this meal. But the same applies to my cookbook. But if you can't get the cookbook, of course you got the free diet and training program. It's got tons of recipes in there, exact diet to follow and so on. But you already have that because it's free. And if you don't, well, you can go get it now. Click the link in the description. But if you really want to feel more full, all you have to do is grab an apple, a banana, an orange, a piece of fruit, and it makes your life that much easier. Add some peas, add some corn, add some broccoli into this, and it's going to be that much healthier. Trust me.
Bruh.
I'm just a chill guy who likes to eat healthy.
Quick pit stop to Chipotle, just by eye. I mean, I guess I don't know exactly. I didn't weigh it, but what I would guesstimate to be around 40-ish, 45 grams of protein. With the protein, I like to underestimate.
And so for his next meal, it's Chipotle. He double meats it, and he's guessing at the calories, the protein, and so on. Listen, not everyone can accurately track their macros, their calories. You don't really have to. So long as you're slowly losing weight, you're doing it the right way. If you're quickly losing weight, you might be thinking that's even better, but you're probably going to lose muscle. And so if you just weigh yourself every morning, take the median weight, track that from week to week, not the average, the median, the middle number. You cross out the highs and the lows, days that you're dehydrated or bloated and so on, and you have that middle number. You can compare week to week. You should never be losing more than 1% of your weight a week, except for perhaps the first week of dieting because you're losing a lot of water. But after that, you don't want to lose more than 1%. 0.5%, that's even better. And so Sam is about 240 pounds. And so if he's losing 1% per week, that's 2.4 pounds. Anything more than 2.4 pounds, I believe he's going to lose muscle. Now remember, he's not natty, and so he might in fact be able to do so. For the most of you, 0.5 to 1%. And so if you're 200 pounds, losing 1 to 2 pounds a week, that's about right.
If every meal I had was a 50-gram bag of Skittles for the 150 grams of carbs I'm eating per day, so I guess 3 of them, then yeah, I would still be eating in a deficit. But subjectively for me, right after I eat that, it's not going to make me feel full at all, zero fiber, like the amount of content just immediately gets dissolved. And it's like, it's not even a food per se, it's more of a snack. It has caloric value.
And so Sam Sulek gives some good advice. Don't just eat Skittles at every meal. You should be getting in some fiber. It should fill you up, and it's that much better. Now, he points out the obvious, which is that you need to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. If you're at maintenance, you maintain your weight, and if you're in a surplus, you gain weight. Many people, they can't figure that out. But just because you can eat Skittles and lose weight doesn't mean that you should. You're going to be hungrier, you're not going to build as much muscle, and so clearly you should still have your diet in order. Now remember, I'm telling Sam Sulek he probably should be eating more vegetables and fruits. Not saying he has to, but if we're talking and critiquing about his diet and you're trying to follow someone's diet, and seeing as he has millions of followers, many people will follow his diet, I'm telling you it could be improved for most people by adding in fruits and vegetables.
To cumulatively sum up everything I'm trying to say, it's count your calories, do your cardio, train hard, and then watch the scale.
And so I like this point that Sam makes at the end, which is to watch the scale. As much as you're counting calories, as much as you're doing the best that you can, if the scale isn't moving in the direction that it's supposed to, you need to change something. Whether it's more cardio, more food, or less calories, you need to change something. One thing you can change is adding a Seco bar into your diet. Now, Mike Israetel says I'm lying because there's a photo of something other than the bar on the cover.
Do you think it resembles what it looks like on the package?
What the fuck? Well, that's what we call lying.
And so here we have a Cinnabon. And so just for full disclosure, if you open up this bar, it's not going to be a Cinnabon. And so no one should be suing me. This is what it actually looks like. And it's very soft. You see?
It definitely has structural integrity.
Very, very soft. It's very pliable. You can bend it. You can form it into a snowball. And so you see, one thing that we truly know is clear is that Mike Israetel likes having this in his mouth.
Thank you, Greg.
And so perhaps if Mike Israetel had more protein bars and less Gatorade and cereal and so on in his diet, perhaps he would have been shredded for his competition and would now be an IFBB pro. Let me know in the comment section, do you agree with Sam Sulek's diet? Did you learn something from it? Did you enjoy this video? Is this just drama? What kind of video do you call this? Do you learn how to diet while watching? Just basically comment in the video. Now, if you are in fact on a diet, I strongly suggest you give turkesterone and GO2 max a try. You don't trust that the ingredients are actually what they are, despite all the proof that we have third-party testing posted on the website and so on. There's literally a money-back guarantee and a $20 gift card. It's on the Sequel bar, the turkesterone, the GO2 max. So you have nothing to lose. Go and give it a try. And if you don't like it, money back and a $20 gift card. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like the video if you liked it, watch one of those two bloops. Of course, cookbooks, training books, coaching plans by me and my team, the Circle Diet book, free diet and training programs, free stuff on the website. Get there. Join the 400,000 plus newsletter subscribers. Also, the Harder Than Last Time clothing line. And until next time, I am out.